Ever since the dawn of time, we nonstop like to compare things. LeBron to Jordan, Android to iPhone, Chevy to Ford, CO2 to K350.
Let's go, baby.
So in today's video, we are going to be going over the history of the K350, of CO2, talking about what we did to these trucks and, you know, just what we put them through, because we put them through a bunch of tests, and then a little bit of a surprise at the end.
You might want to tune to the end. We might have a little bit of a call out. You'll see. Just stay tuned.
If you guys need wheels, tires, suspension, accessories, performance parts, literally anything for your truck, CustomOffsets.com. Let's hop to it.
All right, so let's start with CO2, the first official Custom Offsets company truck. So before that, Sean had his old Avalanche. That was like his truck that he'd bought and put wheels on to make a thing. This was the first truck that we took and made a like company vehicle. And back then in like, was it 2014, I think, is when we first picked it up. It like, he bought it, it was sick, it was like brand new, but it like looked boring. It was like a crew cab long bed, just a giant white truck, and it was just chilling there. And it's like, okay, what are we doing to this thing? Well, in about like a week or two, we took it from stock to basically what the first version of CO2 was. And the whole purpose behind that was to just build a truck that was a show truck on a budget, was the goal.
Right.
So it had a rough country lift kit. It had Cali Off-Road 22x12s, which at the time were fairly large for 2014. And then some, I think, 35s on it. And that was about it. I think Sean did a bunch of paint to match and had 50 shades of white going on. Still kind of does. And kind of got it all wrapped into just like being a clean, simple, affordable show build. Because at the end of the day, that was the goal, just to prove that you don't need to have a top tier Denali on 12 inches of Cognito lift and forces to have a cool truck. You can do it with something affordable. And we did that, and it was sick. We got some photos with like stance modeling in front of it back in the day, and it was like, it was a good time. It didn't stop there, because obviously as like trucks got bigger, wheels got bigger, shit got wilder. We had to go wilder with it too. And that's when we swapped to the BDS kit, not the coilover kit though. BDS kit with 24x14s and then the 375 wide boy trail grapplers. And that was when it kind of finally started like beefing up and becoming like a bigger show build. Because at that point it wasn't just a budget friendly show build, it was like a, hey, we're gonna use our top premier brands that we have and make this thing sick. And I remember specifically a certain shoot that I did. Me and Kirk took it out after Sean had just got it like freshly detailed, looked pristine. And I drove it into the mud to shoot by the railroad tracks and had to detail it afterwards and get it back to clean, because Sean was not happy that the trail graps kicked up as much mud as they did, but that's beside the point. From there then, it kind of just was that, and it was sick and it was good. And then finally, I think it was around the time that we picked this thing up and we were gonna build a SEMA truck, that Sean was like, hey, I think the Custom Offsets truck CO2 needs some love as well. So that was finally the time that we took CO2 and built it into like, it went from premium to like top tier. So we went BDS coilover. We went with the 2614, the largest, shiniest, biggest possible size of the Arkon Lincoln, which Sean designed. So it was a perfect like homage to him with the truck and his style, to then have his wheel that he designed also thrown on it, with some 37-inch fuel grippers for the tires as well to throw on that. I think he might have done some more paint to match.
We'll go with track bars.
Yep, and then headlights and taillights were either already done or getting reworked or something like that.
Yeah, I think they got reworked, but yeah. You didn't even mention my favorite setup.
I missed one?
The red axe wheels.
Oh, yeah, at one point he went from, was it when it was on coilovers?
No.
No, it was before that?
Yeah.
That he had custom engraved, custom offsets, red axe wheels.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was crazy. That was probably I still remember the photo of him like with the Lambo with the red wheels, with CO2 with the red wheels. I got to take it out and do a shoot with the red wheels. It just popped. I don't know, it just popped. I love it. I love it now too, but something about those red wheels was just fire. But yeah, like you said, that transitions me into the K350. So CO2, I wasn't around for its whole life. That was before my time. The Avalanche was before my time. The Hummer was like right when I started because Junior handed me the keys to go get my desk chair.
Yeah,
just
I got yelled at for
started.
that thing.
There's like 13 employees, and then I came back, and Sean wasn't happy, but I was the new guy, so I wasn't gonna get yelled at.
Turns out you shouldn't give the bosses personal vehicles out to newbies to pick up their desks and shit.
Yeah, so I wasn't aware of like a lot of the beginning stuff for CO2. Obviously, I've watched the videos, but I didn't get to live that. I've been here a long time, but it was so close. I just missed it. Regardless, we started building these two at the same exact time. When that got its refresh, Sean picked this up, realized that Arkon was launched, realized that Arkon needed a show vehicle because you look at Force, you look at Specialty, you look at all these wheel companies in the game, they have their own, I mean, damn near every single show company has their own show vehicle. We also really wanted to take it to SEMA, as in the Arkon guys really wanted to take it to SEMA. So that launched both these build series. This got the 8-inch BDS coilover. This got the 2614, the Arkon Red Crown Series victories. It's got the 40-inch Fury tires, and then past that, it's just got everything. It's got custom headlights. It's got the Recon taillights. It's got the train horn. You name it, it's pretty much done on this. It's wrapped by Sticker Dude. It's got the hood on it. It's got the custom grill. So this thing's freaking insane. We took this thing. I still think this is the craziest truck we built so far. Hopefully in the future we can build some other crazy stuff. Looking forward to that. But we pinned them together. We did the coilover versus coilover, Chevy versus Ford, 26s versus 26s. We did all this. Sent them through the tug of war, which was crazy.
Yeah, tug of war was wild because like I think that was a joke at first. Like who puts two show builds that like aren't supposed to touch mud or go off road or actually like get used and abused against each other? Right. Two of them. It's not even like one. It's like no, put both of them up. Sean might have cheated a little bit, and that may have been why CO2 decided to drag the K350 and blow out the front drive shaft. But I'm not holding any grudges.
Yeah, that was insane. I remember I couldn't believe it was so close. And when you look at like the OG like tow off videos, hooking chains and just guys dragging trucks back and forth having fun, like it was pretty close, like you're used to seeing. And then out of nowhere, it's just CO2 took off.
Out of nowhere, Sean had 4 250-pound dudes jump in the cab of his truck before it started.
Yeah, and just sent that supercharger whining and just drug the K350, no problem. After that was the drag race, which I wasn't a part of.
Oh, it was a drag race, all right. So I don't think you mentioned that there's also some stuff under the hood on this thing too, which we probably can't talk about legally because of EPA laws and stuff and things, but I think Banker said this is like 800 horse, 1,200 foot-pounds torque or something like that, and it walked CO2 by like a bus length or two. Like
yeah.
It was a race, but it got drug. It was awesome.
That's why I'm pretty curious to see like if this thing wasn't so tall, big wheel and tire package, wasn't so crazy. I wonder what that Whipple supercharger would do, just because like if this thing wasn't so big, honestly, it didn't really make that big of a difference. You can feel some like throttle response, and it does get going, but nothing compared to...
when you throw 37s on anything, it's not going to help. Even like this thing's at 40s, and it still scoots like crazy. Imagine this thing stock too, you know?
Right.
But that ain't our life. We ain't about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least, we took these things off-roading. So,
but you were there, right? I wasn't there for that one.
Yep. So we took these things off-roading, went out to Gravity Park, which is literally like a makeshift off-road course on a farm with like wood chips and dirt and
sounds about on par for every Wisconsin off-road.
Yeah, so it worked out, and then ended up taking these things off-road. Honestly, it was super fun, super cool to watch, and it was very, very close. At the end, I think it was only, they were like 3 seconds off, 5 seconds off, so it was close.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I couldn't believe how hard Banker was sending the K350 with how tall. Some of those dips, I mean, you're coming into corners, and I thought he was going to roll it. I thought we were going to have to call.
Two-wheel it like Omar did.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have to call Diddy Sean and tell him, hey, like, sorry. But at the end, when you come in the back end, you go over a tabletop into this corner where everyone's sitting, watching the like finale, and they come into this corner, and they're just hauling, and then you come up on a tabletop, which is the finish line, which kind of a crappy place to have a finish line. But regardless, Banker kind of slows down, hops over. Dustin Korth sends CO2 off the tabletop, gets airborne, and ends up winning the off-road race. So pretty crazy. There was crazy times with the tug of war, drive shaft twisting, drag race, with this thing just going insane. And then obviously Dustin just jumping show trucks. So we like to party when we put some show trucks up against each other, which I feel like we should do more of.
Yeah, we've got Ford, we've got Chevy, we're missing a Ram, or maybe there's a sick like Tacoma out there, or a Tundra, or a Frontier or Ridgeline. I don't know. But anyways, I think that's kind of what we're getting to is we've done some cool shit with these two. It's time to do some cool shit with some other trucks, whether it's stuff we're building or whether it's someone watching that knows of like some big name out there that we should be collabing with. And I think that's kind of where we've gotten to is, hey, we've proven it with these two. So if you guys have somebody or if you think that you've got the truck that needs to go up against our builds, I think it's time to branch out and do some other cool shit. Maybe outside of Wisconsin too, because I'm sure there's a lot out there that we could be doing on like the salt flats of Utah or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We should find out.
Could be crazy. So definitely comment your guys' favorite YouTuber down in the comment section below who you guys think we should be collabing with and hooking chains or drag racing or off-roading against with one of our show trucks. And we might just take one of these out there and hit them up and put them against each other and see who comes out on top. So that's what we got for you guys on today's video. If you guys need wheels, tires, suspension, performance accessories, you guys already know, customoffsets.com. Again, make sure you guys comment your favorite YouTuber down in the comment section below. See you guys in the next one. Peace.